Question, why do you think Century, why do you think that Century,
You don't like the facts and truths?
why do you think Century has not taken the offer they have? Why are they holding? Century has made no secret over the years that they want to get the hell out of here. They don't have a lot of trust with the community. They weren't trustworthy for the years. They lied and said the golf course doesn't make any money, but then you go there, it's always packed. So they're lying through their teeth. If they've got an offer on the golf course, why don't they take it and get the hell out?
Well, because right now they still are planning on developing those 30 lots.
Yeah.
That's part of.
Would it be because the golf course would not be saleable to this person if they build the 30 lots?
Well,
So
the way
they're trying to do both. Is what they're trying to do.
The way it stands, if nothing else changed, Century Communities would sell the golf course to this prospective buyer with those 30 lots being built.
But do we know that? Otherwise, because if that's,
Yes,
it doesn't
I-
make any sense that if they could sell the golf course right now, why not get out?
Well, that's what they're in the process of doing that and developing those 30 lots.
But that's assuming that the person that's buying the golf course is going to say that, like the other gentleman said, that it's in the same price for a golf course that's less yardage.
Yeah, and I don't know what they've talked about as far as price, because there's no deal that's actually been done as far as my
Yeah, but
knowledge.
see, there's a reason for that. They're playing us. I mean, they're trying to play both ends. They're not going to do anything. If they build the 30 homes, the other deal probably is going to fall through. Otherwise, they're going to play us for as much as they can get to offset not building the homes and still sell the golf course. All I'm suggesting is there something that we can countermand them with in our negotiations, knowing that they're trying to play that angle. So if the decision is made to buy them out, it's at a lower number, knowing they've got the golf course sold in their other pocket.
Yeah, and that's all comes down to negotiation and what we communicate with them and what their intent is with the other golfers. And as far as I know right now, they're selling that golf course with those 30 lots.
Yeah, but that's just based on.
And that's fine. But if it comes to a point where the terms just aren't workable for us, then we don't do it. I mean,
Well, I'm just saying that we don't know that they have an offer. We've seen nothing. It's just them telling us, right? I mean, they've lied to us over the years. They're probably lying.
even if there's not, let's assume that there's no offer, no one's talking to them. If it turns out that it's the benefit of the community to not build those 30 lots and we get that deed restriction on the entire golf course, what difference does it make? What difference does it make if they own it or somebody else owns this golf course?
If it's worth the same amount of money. I think it seems like Century's playing both ends and we're the ones that are caught in the middle of this. But we need to be, if we are going to do that, be a little more strong in our negotiations to lower the number and impact the
Sure. That's all, that would be part of any price discussions.
Okay, good enough, thanks.
Hello, everyone. First of all, my name is Victor Daggs. I've lived in the community for 3 years, bought on Center Green Drive. My wife and I, our 9-year-old daughter, soon to be 10. Is anyone taking minutes? Because I've been to 4 of these meetings, and I'm going to ask the same question for the 4th time. And Marcy, Joe, Doctor, you've heard these. I've not gotten any email responses from you guys. I never have, and I'd like to know, and I'm sure everybody here would like to know. First of all, in our CC&Rs, I can't paint my door red without your approval because I'm a property owner. Am I correct? So, if they own the golf course in our community and they abide by our CC&Rs, which I do and everybody here does, they can't change the aesthetics of the golf course without approval. Am I right? That's part of the CC&Rs.
But that's the point, is that
They own the property.
those 30 homes wouldn't be subject to our CC&Rs. That's one of the issues that
But
is complicated.
Century Communities currently owns the golf course. It is a property within our community, am I correct?
But it's not subject to the CC&Rs. Geographically, we surround it, but that land is not subject to those board covenants.
Okay, now I understand that they bought the property, nobody else had an offer in, so they were able to buy the golf course, and now they can do what they want. And I know it was all about money back 2 years ago when they had the first meeting out here. And I asked these questions. If the golf course is losing money, as Century Communities has stated, they're lying to us. It's not a losing entity. It would be in our best interest to own the golf course as our community instead of paying them off a little bit by a little bit, and they just consume their property. The location they chose to build these homes is the signature hole. It's what attracted my wife and I to Rose Ranch. You pull in that gate and you come up that drive and you see that beautiful golf course all the way up. The first time my wife and I came in, we came in through the back gate. She didn't want to come in here. She didn't want to buy a home in here. The next time we came in through the front gate, she fell in love with the place. So we bought. Okay? It took 10 days to get my CC&Rs too. Otherwise,
30 seconds.
I don't know. Thank you for the time. The golf course, if they pay, a golfer pays homeowner rate, and they only have 50 golfers a day at half a year, 26 weeks, 7 days a week, they would make $500,500 of profit. That's just half the year. Last year, I saw 3 buses come in with people from Oklahoma, and they were paying $100 rates. The golf course is full all the time. Anyway, I'm getting off track here.
Tom.
All right. I've given you guys my email. I've given you my number. I don't get any calls from you, but I'm really frustrated because we're losing money. If you own a home in this community, if they build on the golf course, all of us will lose profit. I just had my home appraised, and it will go down.
Hi, I'm a big consumer of golf in Las Vegas. We bought our house here in 2012. We golf all over the valley, but I know I have more than 300 rounds of Rose Ranch played today. Okay, I have several things in my mind, but I'm going to keep this short. I'm taking what I'm hearing today at face value. I'm not seeing a grand conspiracy or the things done in secret. Some things need to be done in secret to avoid the rumor mill from running. Okay, but here we are today to talk about it, so let's talk about it. My concern is I don't have a golf course lot, but if the golf course goes away or we build these 30 homes on it, my property values are going to be affected. Plus, if the golf course goes away, then we're really going to be affected property value-wise. So that's a big deal. I'm not a lawyer, but I spent a fair amount of time in court, and I know that when you get involved in litigation, usually both sides are unhappy. Nobody wins, usually. So I think if we can avoid litigation, that would be the way to go. Now, to me, Century Communities is a fly-by-night outfit. From the houses they're building to where they're doing business. Okay, I'm happy to see that they have not let the golf course get run down like what happened out at Badlands, because I played out there a lot. And towards the end, they quit maintaining it, so nobody wanted to golf there. Well, then they could claim that they weren't making any money. Okay, I'm happy to see that that hasn't happened here. So I'll give Century Communities their credit for that. My bottom line is just doing the math off the top of my head. If we can do a $250 assessment per year, doing the math, that's $20 a month. Okay. I'm a retired guy on fixed income. It's not going to break my bank. So maybe somebody it is, but I think that is something really, really worth considering. If we can keep those houses from being built and all the mess that comes along with it, competing HOAs and all that, and keep the golf course intact, I think that's the way to go, and that's what I would support.